Woo, it's windy. It's a windy day. Hi guys, it's Myke. Basically having a very windy day. Going to pick up the kids from school today. And I wanted to discuss something quite quickly actually. Something that I thought we could talk about just a little bit today because there's a topic that's been going on for the whole entire week, and that topic is the YouTuber by the name of Toby Turner, aka Tobuscus. And to say that he's one of the most successful YouTubers on YouTube, well, kind of one of the most successful entertainers on YouTube, because he does like loads of different things. He's like multi-talented, so per se. And there's some allegations that came out in regards to him, and basically a girl by the name of April F posted a Tumblr blog. She basically checked the blog post at the bottom in regards to his behaviour, and allegations were thrown out there of rape. Now, I'm not a person to kind of comment on these allegations. I can't, because I wasn't there. So, you know, there's his side of the story, there's her side of the story. But there's a lot of things that have been corroborated with over the fact that he's an egomaniac, he's a horrible boyfriend, he's a bit of a nut job and a druggie. Okay, so we've got that. But in terms of allegations of rape, there's stuff that people can't really comment on. Now, I'm not kind of jumping myself and putting my 2 cents into that whole thing because it's not my place. What I will do is kind of point the finger at every single person who's been going after him or after her, commenting on the fact that, you know, they've said what they've said. Now, she's basically threw allegations out there. Everyone's basically going on about, oh, you know, he dumped her, so she's this and she's that, and she's this nasty human being. And, you know, you obviously, instead of going to the police, you would go to Tumblr to actually say this sort of thing. It's kind of those nasty, hurtful things that make people, especially rape victims or abuse victims, not want to come out in the first place because they feel that no one's going to believe them. It's a nasty, kind of cruel situation to be in. Now, for those people who come out and say, oh, well, you know, why does she keep going back if she's being abused? Okay, have you ever been in an abusive relationship? Because you know that what happens is the person doing the abuse will strip you down to nothing. They make you feel like nothing, that you have to rely on them. So of course you're going to go back, and then you're going to go back. And despite how much you try to kind of move away from that person, they're going to still try and drag you back into that situation again. Sometimes the person doesn't even know that they're doing it. So it's kind of a very nasty situation to be in, and take it from someone who's been in that situation a couple of times myself. I have. And it's hurtful for people to sit there and go and point the finger and say, hey, you know, you don't know what you're talking about, or you just want attention. Trust me, if someone in that situation wanted attention, she'd probably try and get her tits out, or, you know, do something to kind of get loads of men to pay attention to her. She's not doing this. She posted it, she went away, and, you know, she just is trying to put the situation behind her. As to why she did it, well, anything can trigger it. She said she went to Toys R Us one day and saw the Tobuscus doll at Toys R Us, and it triggered her to do this post and made her upset, you know. And she did, you know, as most of the ex-girlfriends of his stated, she actually attempted to warn them. Now, as to the people sitting there accusing Toby of actually doing this and say, oh, you know, he did do it, no one knows. And this is the problem. And I'm going to say this, I'm not saying it didn't happen, and that's regardless. I am saying that I can't comment on the allegations because I wasn't there. But what I can say is people attacking both sides need to stop and need to think about it. Now, it's obvious here that Toby needs help. He does. He needs help in terms of his drug problem. He needs help in terms of his rather messed up mind, you know, and all the situation that he's going through. And he needs help to get away from all the people who sit there and say, you can do whatever the fuck you want and there's no consequences. Because the problem is, it's like with children. You basically allow a child to have everything they ever wanted without any consequences, allowed to get away with everything. They're going to grow up thinking that the world's like that they can do whatever the fuck they want. And obviously, he feels really entitled. That's, you know, it's a thing. He's being a spoilt child. And it needs to stop. And he needs to get help. He needs to get counselling. He needs people to actually stand there and say to him, well, more people, of course, because one of his exes said that she did that. They need to sit there and say to him, enough is enough. You need to back off away from it. You need to back away from the drugs. You need to back away from all the constant booze. Because the next person who's going to be affected by it could be another girl who he takes liberties with, or it could be himself, where he ends up dying from a drug overdose. If all these so-called fans really care about Toby, then maybe it's time to actually get up there and say, Toby, you need help. Because hero worshipping, and we do this a lot, especially with YouTube, with TV stars, with film stars, with everything, right? Hero worshipping happens, and it happens a lot. Hell, I hero worshipped a couple of guys that I found out were kind of flawed human beings in the end. It's not good. If you really value this person, then you're going to want them to get help. Because by glorifying them, by allowing them to get away with what they're getting away with currently, and I'm not saying with the rape allegations, I'm saying with his abuse of himself and his abuse of his many partners that he's had, then really he needs to get away from the shittiness and start focusing on getting himself better, man. You know, look, big example here. Robert Downey Jr. Now, a lot of people just, you know, they remember the guy RDJ as Iron Man. But if you go back and you look at the guy and you watch his performances and his roles, and the fact that his entire career of 90s were drug abuse, you know, hookers. He was even caught with a bag of crack and a gun. The guy has gone through shit, but it took others, his own support network around him, to say you need help, for him to actually realize he needed help. And he's now one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. I'm not saying Tobuscus' career is going to mirror that, but I'm saying as an entertainer, he can get his career back. It will be there for him. And if you're a fan, you would support that. But in his current state, he's going to end up bombing faster than anybody out there, you know, in terms of his career. And he could even end up in his own death, because he's going around a very nasty and slippery slope. So, you know, it's a shame. So again, I'll reiterate: support, help, question. Don't abuse people, because the shit I've seen on the internet with people just like screaming and cussing and calling this girl names just because she spoke out are wrong. You know, do I like the way she went about this situation? No, I don't. But do I think that she's, you know, brave to basically go out and do it? Then I think to a certain extent she has been, yeah. Because she knew what was going to happen. She knew what this was going to cause. And as for Toby, dude, you know, if you watch this video, which I doubt you will, get help. Because if you don't, I don't think we'll probably hear him as one of the many people who had fleeting fame who ended up being crushed underneath it. Hollywood is a really bad place. And it's a very, very bad place, especially for someone who just doesn't understand the meaning of the word no. That's not from me, guys. What do you think? What's your opinion on this? Do you think that the internet is being a bit of a bitch in terms of the way that they're treating these two people? Or do you think that it's all just, you know, allegation after allegation after allegation? If you've had stories, if you had situations where, as like people yourself, if you've had a situation occur which caused, or allegations said against you, or, you know, a situation where you felt like you needed a support network and didn't have one, what happened? Why? Leave your comments below, let me know. As always, I'm out here, I'm going to go and do what I got to do now and be a dad. So love you all, guys, and have a great day.